You don't get to, or you don't have to, you get to.
I like that.
Yes. You don't have to do anything that you do not want to do. You get to do it. You are lucky enough to have that ability to do something, so why not do it?
Hello and welcome back to the Get a Student Life podcast, where we talk about all things student life and love telling student stories. I'm your host, Molly Ballison, and I'm excited to kick off Season 2, our first episode. After a year of telling student stories and meeting new people, it's just been so fun to have these great conversations, and very excited to revamp the podcast to bring more new stories to you. So today I'm here with Makenna Pareira.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you on and just hear more about your experience as a mainline dancer. I see you're repping your mainline sweatshirt. Love it. And just hearing more your story about what drove you here and just some of those student life experiences.
Yes.
So to open things up, we always have a question of the day. So today our question is, what are 5 of the best things about game days at Boise State? Because you've been to a lot of those.
a lot. That's a hard question because I think game day itself is just like the best part, I think, for me personally about being on mainline. I'd say tailgating around campus because we go out to the parking lot by football. That's really fun to experience the time with fans and really get out there in the community. And then pregame, I pretty much cry like every time we do pregame.
Oh.
The feeling of being out there with the band and just seeing the crowd for the first time is unreal.
Oh, a good cry.
Yeah, a good cry, like a good
breakdown.
No, like a really good one. The first time we go in front of the student section is always fun. When Ashton Genty's really good, that's also a good thing about game day. Any performances we have, and then just if we win, I guess it's fun to do the fight song at the very end when we win, and it's just such a good feeling. So was that 5 things? I think so.
I should have been counting, but
I think that was fun.
We could go on, and it could be like 10, 20 things.
I know, I could
things
say
about
literally
game
everything.
Days. Yeah, one of my favorite things about game days is watching the dance performances.
Yes.
Sure, football is great, and we are a football-oriented school, but also there's other athletes there too. And also as a dancer, I'm like,
yes, that's right.
Just waiting for it, and just love watching you guys.
Yeah, it's a real experience when you're out there. You don't even know what's happening. You pretty much black out. You're just staring at all the students, just listening to your music, and it's such a great experience, truly.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what it looks like from down there, I
honestly don't even notice. I don't look. I look up and out. I can't look at anyone specifically or at the students because it makes me nervous. So
yeah, I'm sure it's like all little dots rather than focusing on faces anyway.
So true.
Yeah, and you're a captain.
I am a captain this year,
so that's an awesome responsibility.
So fun, a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I'm very honored to have this position.
That's so sweet. And so you've been a mainline dancer since you arrived at Boise State. So take us back to, why did you decide to pursue dance at Boise State specifically?
So actually, I grew up dancing. I started when I was 2 years old, and I didn't really know anything about college dance when I was in high school. I didn't know that was a thing that you could do. I kind of wanted to go the more professional route, move to LA, maybe try that, or just not dance at all, which was really hard for me because dance is such a big part of my life. I had a friend that I grew up dancing with, and she actually was on mainline. She graduated last year. She was actually captain last year too. So it's crazy how 2 girls from one studio
Small world.
I know, right?
That's wild.
So she had just been telling me, Boise State has such a great dance program, and you should really do your research. So I researched 14 different schools and 14 different dance teams. I toured every one of those schools. And then Boise was my last school that I came and toured.
Really?
And I just fell in love with it the second I stepped foot on campus. And then I thought my senior year, I guess I'll just try out for the team. And if I don't make it, I don't make it. But if I do, that'd be really fun. So then I tried out. I think I told you this in our pre-interview, but I graduated high school. The second I graduated, I got on a plane. Less than an hour later, came to tryouts. Yeah.
The dedication,
I know.
Seriously. Because there was also that, your determination to pursue that is really cool, because there's the chance of, okay, well, what if I didn't make it, and now I'm, freshly out of high school and just arrived at this brand new place, and, there's like
nothing for me, really. Yeah,
so
totally.
I love that you ended up pursuing it. And so did you, was Boise State the only place that you tried out for the team?
So it was actually the only place I applied to as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you went through looking at all the options, and then was it like a gut feeling that you got when you're on the campus?
I don't know. My dad had gone to a football game a few years ago and was like, wow, their dance team was so nice, and their campus is beautiful. Their game days were so fun. And I was like, I don't even know what Boise is. I've never heard of Idaho. I'm from California. And then I came here, and it was just, I don't know. My gut feeling just told me, you need to be here. This is the school for you. And then, I applied to only here, and I tried out for only this dance team, and it lucked out. I'm here year 4, and I'm loving it. So
it worked out in your favor
totally.
Because this is where you're obviously supposed to be if that's where you landed.
Exactly.
So how did coming in your freshman year compare to your senior year now? Because you were involved in dance the whole time, full-time student that whole time.
It was definitely a lot to manage my freshman year. I was not used to going to school full-time and doing dance team and working and trying to just have a life without parents, because COVID was my junior and senior year, so we didn't go to school from any time really. It was just 8 to 12 every day. That's really nothing. So having full classes and living in a dorm and not living at home was crazy for me. And then obviously being on the team, that's a lot of commitment, lots of game days, lots of practice. I always said I ran with like a chicken with my head cut off my freshman year. This year, like now, I've grown a lot as a person. I really found myself. I am really good at managing how much I do in the day, and I like keep a schedule of what I need to get done, and that really helps me. And I don't run like a chicken with my head cut off anymore. I'm feeling confident with the team, and I know what's going to happen. I know what to prepare myself for and what to expect. So it's been a great transition, but it was definitely something to get used to my freshman year for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's already a lot of newness when you're moving to a brand new place, and like you were saying, what even is Boise? Just so much to learn. Yeah, and you're studying education.
Yes, so special education and elementary education. Yes,
I love that.
Yeah.
And so with all of those things that you're having to balance, and it seems like you've learned that maybe not running like a chicken with head cut off all the time anymore.
100%.
Maybe some days.
Sometimes.
I understand that. What are some of those best practices that you learned, whether it's around time management or just making time for the things you love?
Yeah.
What have you found to be helpful for you?
So time management was definitely something I struggled with a lot. Google calendars, planners. I love writing things down.
So many people have given Google Calendar a shout out on the podcast,
right?
So that's saying something.
I have a little whiteboard. I write down everything I need to do.
I like that.
I also really make sure that I'm taking time for myself. So I get stressed out really easily. It's a lot going on. So blocking out an hour or 2 a week to just maybe watch a movie or go to Ulta, because that's what that calms me down a lot.
Yeah.
That's really, really helpful. But just staying on top of a schedule, if I write it down and know that's what I need to do, I'm really good at following it. So that's been very, very helpful for me, is just, and also asking for help. It's okay to ask for help. My coach is super helpful when it comes to, I'm really stressed out today. I don't know if I can do all of this. She's really, really, really helpful when it comes to, you can just do this instead, or don't worry about that. So it's really nice to also know there's people here for you that will do what you need them to do in order to help you make it through. So,
yeah, absolutely. To have that support system in your corner.
100%.
Yeah, so it sounds like your coaches have been a source of support.
Yes.
Like, where else have you found support and resources that either you wish you knew about sooner or that you would direct other people to? Well,
just talking to professors is just very helpful. They're very reliable, and they really make sure that you're getting done what you need to get done, but also they don't want to overwhelm you. They're not here to give you all this work and say figure it out on your own. They're here to truly just help you be a better person and a better student. Tutoring is very helpful. Office hours, very helpful. It's really hard with dance. You don't have a lot of time to really do your homework, and we're traveling on the weekends, and it gets stressful when you have 16 assignments that you need to get done by Sunday, but you have practice Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or you're on a plane for 8 hours. It's just things like that. So tutoring's been really helpful. Just also friends are really helpful. Being on the team, I get 56 best friends right then and there. So
there you go.
That's really nice. And upperclassmen too. We have a list of our majors that we share at the beginning of the year, and so upperclassmen are not responsible, but they are very helpful when it comes to the underclassmen if they're ever needing help, and you can look on that list, see who has your same major, and then go from there, ask them questions, do what you need to do to.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Know who to go to, like who to connect with.
Yeah.
That kind of is part of that community building a little bit.
It's very cool. I definitely used that a lot my freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah, built-in community right there. Have you used resources like health services, counseling services? Are those beneficial?
So health services for sure. I get sick a lot when I'm practicing all the time. So, I mean, I was at health services like every week last year. So they're very helpful there. Love them. I've been multiple times. Counseling too, very helpful. I know a lot of girls on my team as well really use that resource because it gets hard. Your mental health is very important, and when you're doing nonstop things 24/7, it's really hard to take that time to really focus on your own mental health. So getting that help is also really, really nice and helpful.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Like, I've run into that too. Like, with dance specifically, there's a lot of, I mean, it's not only physically challenging, but mentally challenging many areas. So having that support is huge too. And the support of your teammates. And I'm just curious whether it's specifically about that mental health and being an athlete aspect or another challenge, but what is a challenge that you faced with being an athlete and a student?
I would definitely say mental and physical health. We're doing a lot. We're dancing on concrete and jumping up and down, landing on our knees, flipping over people. So injuries happen a lot, and that really takes a toll on you, not just physically but mentally. And also, I'm stressed a lot, but that's okay. I feel like I've gotten a lot better. My freshman year was really, really hard, and my mental health was like at the lowest point it's ever been. So that's been really hard to manage, trying to do both and to keep my physical and my mental health okay, because I am a student first, but if I'm feeling that way about dance, then I'm probably feeling that same way about school, and I'm not putting my 100% into being a student first sometimes. So that's rough. But there's definitely a lot of people here, and the health services and counseling have really helped just try to maintain that and help, get me better and get me to where I need to be. So it's hard, but it's doable, and it's worth it in the end, if that makes sense.
Yeah, worth it in the end. So it kind of sounds like sometimes there might be that tension of dances physically and mentally like challenging on you, but also it is something you love and pursue and can feed your soul too. So that's an interesting dynamic of the two and trying to navigate that.
And it's crazy too, because I feel like dance really helps when I am feeling mentally not okay. I can just go and let it out, let my emotions show through dance. So that's also been helpful. It's just hard when things get crazy and practices are stacked on top of each other, and I have an exam tomorrow and I have to go present this 10-minute presentation. Like, it definitely stacks up. It definitely gets hard, but dance has really helped, like, my mental health calm down a little bit, and can use it as an outlet sometimes as well. When I'm really feeling that way, leave everything at the door, come in, do what you're there to do, and I always end up leaving feeling much better than I came. So
that's a good perspective. It reminds you of, like, yes, it is worth it.
Yes, 100% worth it.
That's one of the best ways that, like, I can just describe, like, my love for dance too, is the emotional outlet part has been, like, carried me through so much. And so even if it's hard, or some days you're mentally like, I don't want to do this today, but you leave and you're like, okay, that's what I needed.
I know. It's just that instant, like, trying to get out of bed at 6 a.m. You really don't want to, but then you get there and you feel so much better after you do it. It's kind of like running. You don't want to run, but then you do it and you feel much better.
It's almost like a mental hurdle. You're like, okay, just gotta start doing it. Do you hope to pursue dance, like, post-grad, since you're getting closer to that, or how?
It's so scary to think about.
Yeah, that's always the question. People are like, what are you doing? Right. But I guess, like, what's next for you?
Yeah. So I have an extra semester, so I'll graduate in December of next year, which is fine. I'm excited to actually be a student without the team, kind of. I'd never been to a football game before, like, sitting in the stands, so that'll be interesting.
That'll be a different perspective.
I'm excited for it, for sure. I want to go pro, so, like, either an NFL or an NBA team.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll see where I end up, but I've been taking some clinics. We go to a pro dance combine in the summer, so I've done that the past 2 years, and that's been really fun. I'll definitely just have to take a lot of classes and keep dancing, since I won't be on the team next year, and I won't be able to try out for another year after that. So I'll have to just keep doing what I'm doing, but find other places to do it, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like if you're driven enough to do it, which it seems like you are, you'll find the avenues to do that. So we might be seeing you on TV.
Let's hope.
That would be awesome.
I would love that.
Yeah. So what would you say to students who are worried about like having the time and energy to do the things that they're passionate about, or worried about, well, maybe being a student will conflict with these activities that I'd love to do?
Yeah.
Because you've shared a little bit about that balance. So what advice would you give to students who want to pursue the activities they love but don't feel like they have the time and energy as a full-time student?
I would say do it. Just do it. Just try it. If it doesn't work out for you, it doesn't work out for you, but I think you'll regret not doing it. You love these activities, why not just try? Being a student can really be difficult at the like when you're doing both, but it's so worth it. And I always say you don't get to, or you don't have to, you get to.
I like that.
Yes. You don't have to do anything that you do not want to do. You get to do it. You are lucky enough to have that ability to do something, so why not do it? And I tell myself that all the time. I don't have to do it, but I get to do it. So I would say if you want to do it and you love doing what you love, go for it and do that, and everything will fall into place. You can get the help you need. You can do it. It's totally manageable. It's kind of hard, and you'll see that, but there's definitely ways to go around that. There's so much support that you can get, and being an athlete and doing the activities that you love to do is just so rewarding. You make so many connections. You have so many fun experiences. I would be really upset if I came to school here like as a dancer and chose not to do that, even though that was my passion at the beginning, because I was afraid that it was going to get in the way of my student life, just because I would have missed out on so many of the opportunities and the experiences that I did get being on this team and being here. So do it. I would say to do it.
And instead it adds to your student life.
Yeah, 100%. You get so involved, and that's, I think, something super important to do when you're in college is do anything that you would regret not doing after you graduate.
That's such good advice. And I need to hear that too, because I'm nearing the end of
the
college season of my life. So and you don't know till you try. So
exactly.
Yeah, to recap or wrap up our time, I just appreciate you sharing like the challenges and the like the celebration and excitement that is around being an athlete and a student, and how you're able to balance those and give encouragement to people. And so we'd encourage listeners to check out those resources that Makenna mentioned. Like, talk to your professors. If you're an athlete, talk to your coaches, and reach out to health services, counseling services, career services. Boise State has so many resources and systems of support and places to find community. To support anyone in pursuing whatever they're passionate about. So I thank you, Makenna, for being here to share what you're passionate about.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a great experience. Thank you.
Don't forget to like this video and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes with all the exciting guests we have coming up. We love hearing your stories and perspectives, so if you have one to share, or you know of someone who you think would make a great guest on the podcast, reach out to us via the Student Life website, email studentlife@boisestate.edu, or DM us on Instagram. Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Boise State Student Life. Thanks for listening. Now go get a student life.